Welcome everyone to Kiwradio.nz, simulcast on upfm.co.nz for our weekly Kiwi music showcase with yours truly, Ralphie. And we have special guest Sabreen joining us for a 3-song set this fine evening. Sabreen, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Awesome to have you, man. Well, you're in the hot seat today to show us a bit of music, and we are a storytelling podcast, so feel free to elaborate on the stories and deep dive into them. But welcome to the show first and foremost, and maybe start off with telling us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, yes, I love a good yap, so a storytelling podcast is perfect. I am
Sorry, I have to start off the show with a few sound effects. Carry on.
That's okay. My name is Sabreen. I am an artist from Auckland. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I mainly release like pop, folk sort of songs. I write all my own music, and I have an EP out and another on the way.
Awesome. Well, we're going to listen to 3 songs from that EP, starting off with a track called Countryman. What's that one about?
Countryman was the lead single from my second EP. It just came out, almost 2 months ago exactly tomorrow. I wrote it about the real story of Jo Kum-young, who was a Chinese gold miner who lived in Wellington and was sadly killed by a white supremacist in 1905.
Wow.
I read the story, and it broke my heart and reminded me of my own family's journey, and so I wrote the song about him to honor his memory.
All right, let's check it out. Kiwradio.nz. My name is Ralphie. Sabreen is our guest this evening. Simulcast tonight on upfm.co.nz. Let's start the show.
There's a man in a shop, sells watermelons with his wife. He came here for a better life. He thinks he's where I'll die. Found a graveyard behind some willows and waterfalls.
You're tuned into Kiwradio.nz, where we showcase local music each and every week. Tonight we have Sabreen Islam with a 3-song set. You can find her on Instagram as The Sabby Monster. That's 2 B's, B for Bravo. The Sabby Monster on Instagram, and she's a wonderful singer-songwriter hailing from Auckland, New Zealand, waving her signature style with inspirations from the likes of Hosier, Conan Gray, and Dodie. So if you like that kind of music, sit back and relax for the hour as we go through her tales through poetry and song and literature. Are you still at uni while doing all this music stuff?
Yes, I am.
Cool. What are you studying?
I'm studying law and arts.
Oh, nice. Lovely. Fantastic. Well, it's certainly, I really dig the music. It's very, honest and poetic is a really good way to describe it. Now, this next song is called Victory, and here at Kiwi Radio, we actually did a cheeky remix, which you can find on our YouTube channel. What did you think of the remix there, Sabreen?
I love the remix. I think it was the first time anyone's remixed my music, so it was just like the coolest thing ever. To see it.
Nice.
Something created and someone else taking it. Awesome. Thank you for doing it.
No, it was a real pleasure. I think, with arts, as local creatives, we should be kind of patting each other on the back more often and doing little underground remixes of each other's songs. I liken it to someone's released a good recipe and, we just mix it up. And, it's like, oh, I like that lemon cake recipe you did. I'm just going to add a bit of this now. So I'm glad you like it. But we're about to listen to the original. So maybe tell us about Victory.
Yeah, Victory was a really special song to me, and one of the most special songs in my discography. It is about something quite traumatic that happened to me when I was younger, and I decided to write a song about how I was feeling and also the sort of narratives I was hearing in wider society about blaming victims for what had happened to them, which I thought was ridiculous. So I wrote this song kind of about that and about my own sort of anger and frustration and grief. And it's a really special song because my dad actually helped me produce it.
Wow.
So yeah, he really loves this song and he wanted to help me. So yeah, it's a very special song for multiple reasons.
We are a storytelling podcast, so a normal radio interviewer will just stop the questions from there, but we want to deep dive a little bit more. As one of my as my main job, I actually work in the mental health space, and trauma is one of those things I'm trained in. I was just wondering a little bit if you feel comfortable, dive into that a bit more, because I feel like maybe sharing your story might impact another person's life or journey and relate to where you're coming from. So do you mind going a bit deeper with that, or what do you mean by trauma?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for the work that you do. That's really important, especially right now.
Yeah, thank you. No, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's such important work. This is specifically about sort of like sexual assault. And I was seeing a lot of narratives on social media and just in conversations with people about all the things that people say to survivors of that sort of thing, which almost it shifts the blame from the perpetrator to the victim. And I found it to be a very lonely and isolating experience. Even with the context of things like Me Too, a lot of things still haven't changed and survivors still aren't really taken seriously. And I'm also a law student, so I see how in the judicial system, these sort of stereotypes and the lack of accountability is enforced. And so with Victory, I literally wrote it on my piano in about 20 minutes, just almost like emotion vomiting it out.
Yeah, emotional vomit. I like how you said that.
Yeah, just getting it out, just the frustration. And the chorus is kind of a bunch of questions that I found were being asked, which again shift the blame. Why didn't you run? Why didn't you scream? All of that sort of stuff. And I wanted it to sound very accusatory because that's how it feels to be asked those things. And so with this song, I mean, I didn't really write it with the intention of sharing it, but I have had some very special responses to it, which has been amazing because it's something I wrote and created completely in isolation. So to see it resonate with people and their own experiences has been one of the like most genuine and heartfelt songwriting experiences I've ever had.
Wow, that's certainly a beacon for those that may can relate to that, and it's a very powerful story. So thank you for sharing and being open and honest with that. I actually do. One of the persons I support with have a similar backstory, so I feel for you, man, and I hate that happened. But certainly, you've definitely. I mean, studying law, you certainly got a brain behind the music, for sure. By the sounds of it, 20 minutes of writing, and it's just emotional. Yeah, what did you call it? Emotional pukage? How did you say that?
Emotional vomit.
Emotional vomit. I like how you said that. Victory, we're going to go check it out, and please listen very intently. You're listening to Kiwradio.nz. Sabreen is spilling her little heart out with her songs, her storytelling, and everything. You can check her out at Instagram with the handle The Sabby Monster. You can also check her out at Linktree, linktr.ee /Sabreeni. And Countryman is out now with some wonderful music from Sabreen Islam. You're tuned into Kiwi Radio. This is the song, Victory.
What's this? The poet doesn't know what to write. It's the middle of the night. It's witching hour. The magic's meant to flow like a meteor shower. But I'm stuck in a bottle with no lid. No lips to say my fears. Words for empty ears. And the words follow me round, falling leaves all on the ground. I still think it's you behind me, still following me. Why didn't you run? Why didn't you scream? Why didn't you say what you really mean? Why was your body not your own? What happened? Your skin doesn't feel like home. Why didn't I lie? Why didn't I leave? Why did I let a little piece of me die? I survived. Don't clap for me, take my trophy. Someone else can have the victory. You had a blueprint better, but I can't keep my keys in my knuckles forever. It's quick, you'll know it when it happens. Protect yourself, girl, you know better, but I should have been okay. No one told me girls can hurt girls too.
Kiwradio.nz, that is Sabreen with Victory. This is what I love about the storytelling element of the podcast, is getting to know the backstory of it's like when you're watching a film and you rewind this musical part and you rewind it like 10 minutes of what happened before they start singing. That's what I love about the storytelling, is you explaining where that song comes from, and it just hurts a little deeper actually listening to it. It's a really important piece of music actually. I think it's beautiful, and yeah, for fun we did do a remix as mentioned, so I'm just going to quickly do like yeah, there we go, there's the remix there playing in the background. That is available on youtube.com/@KiwiRadioNZ. Please like and comment and subscribe, and that'll help with the algorithm there over in YouTube. But yeah, there's another take of that song for sure. With your law, now, do you see yourself in the future going towards corporate law or human rights? Yeah, maybe deep dive into a little bit about that side of you and where you see yourself going.
Wow. Well, law is an interesting one. It's very long. I'm here for another 2 years, but I think I can see myself going more towards an advocacy sort of realm of human rights. My passion is for refugee law, actually. Corporate law is not really for me. I did try because we kind of have to try everything. Yeah, I'm really not that good at maths. Or like businessy sort of stuff, so corporate isn't really my calling. But
like
I
tax
see myself...
invoices, ew, gross. We care about the humans. That's interesting because I deal with trauma-induced care, and I was talking about this with my barber, and he was saying that he knows some refugees coming into New Zealand. They've been basically bullied and traumatized by militia. And he was telling me, "Oh, do you think you can handle that? Or what's your piece of advice?" And I'm like, "Whoa, okay, well, hang on. There's a lot more to that story." And yeah, I mean, being a refugee in a strange country is hard enough as it is. But yeah, I can only imagine, some people out there, dealing with very, very bad people.
Yeah, I have done some volunteer work with the Red Cross, and I think the most important thing to remember is that, they're just like, I feel like with the media and everything, they really almost otherize and almost dehumanize these refugees. And refugees, it's not a type of person. It is actually just a legal status of moving between countries. Wow. And they are just like us. And so I think that's why that area of the law really attracts me, because these are just people and they have been forced out of their homes through no fault of their own, and there's all this like politics and talk about them that's just like nonsense really. So I'd like to help if I can.
Yeah, it's not just like numbers or stats on a spreadsheet. You're talking about people's lives, dads, mums and little kids, and it's just a legal status. You're absolutely right. And there's a lot of painful stories out there, and I think you've got some important work ahead of you, both musically and in your profession, and I wish you all the best with that.
Thank you so much.
Going back to music, what are you excited about for 2025? We're close to Christmas now. What are your plans with music moving forward? You've just dropped this new EP. What's next?
I just dropped the lead single, the EP. I'm very excited to get back to working on now that my exams are over. I've got some time. So I hope to finish it and hopefully release it in 2025, which will be super exciting. I feel like I have a much better handle on releasing a body of work after doing it once last year with my first EP. So yeah, that'll be 2025, and I'm very excited for this new era of music.
We're certainly interested in what your output will be. I personally think you're very talented and a wonderful voice, and some very important stories written about human loss, human love, all that sort of stuff. Speaking of love, the last track here is called Still Love You. Please tell me more.
This is a much lighter song after the last two, but it is a favorite of mine. I wrote this song about, it's a bit of a sarcastic, sort of tongue-in-cheek, self-deprecating song about pining over a childhood crush who has most definitely moved on. And I just thought I had found myself in the situation, and I thought it was kind of funny. Like it kind of felt like something I would see in a movie.
Yeah.
So I wanted to sort of nostalgic sounding fun song about this like really confusing but also kind of funny experience that I had gone through. And there's my uncle actually played the tabla on it, which is a traditional South Asian drum. So there's a bit of my culture in there as well. So yeah, it's a very fun song, and I love performing it live.
You've mentioned dad, uncle. There's already kind of like a musical heritage I sense. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a lot of music in my culture and my family and where we come from, so I can thank them for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, rewind back. Tell us some of your earliest memories of maybe dad or uncle bringing out an instrument and sharing some knowledge. What's your first thoughts with that? First memories?
Yeah, my dad is the main musical one in my family, and he got us all playing instruments from a very young age. And I just remember being surrounded by all sorts of music from a very young age. Like that, there was Bollywood music. There was music from my country, Bangladesh. My dad also loves heavy metal, but he also loves. He's got an eclectic CD collection. And then we were all like banging around on ukuleles from a very young age, and I had my first piano lesson when I was 4. So it's just always been a huge.
Well,
yeah.
You see, I started piano when I was 7, and I'm a dad, so I've got a 3-year-old boy, and he's picking up drums, and if you're checking me out on YouTube right now, I've got 3 cameras pointed at me, 3 different angles. It's a bit of a geek out, to be honest. So you can see I'm in a room full of musical equipment, and he's playing on the keyboard, telling me, Dad, where's the click button? He means metronome. Still at 3. So that's I have hope. So next year, being 4, he could be on the trajectory like you, Sabreen. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. I hope your son sticks with the music theory, because I dropped it after I had started reading music. So
why is that? Tell me more. I mean, I had a piano teacher that lived across the road, and I remember going there after school, and I could never afford a full 88-key piano, and so I think the most I got was 61 or something like that. And I started getting to like grade 4 and 5, and my piano teacher was like, Ralph is gifted. He needs to have a full, and I was like told, no, we don't have the money. So it wasn't actually, I never got an 88-key piano till I bought myself one at the age of, I want to say 27. So I was deprived for so long.
Yeah. I mean, you can still make some decent music on a 61-key piano.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. I even started with 49, so there we go.
Just like the little ones, yeah.
What instruments do you actually play on your record? What are you learning?
I'm mainly a
piano?
guitarist.
Yep.
I do play some piano, but I have shifted to guitar since I was about 12, and I mainly play acoustic guitar. I do play a bit of electric. I want to learn more, though, like how to play electric guitar specifically, because I think it's just the coolest instrument ever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just the people who play electric guitar and like are shredding it just have so much aura.
I think also we got to appreciate, like being a jack of all trades and a master of none is kind of really a thing too. So as a songwriter,
Yeah.
I always tell people, like stick with either guitar or piano. That will get you mileage galore, right? Because those two instruments have so much timbre, have so much scale, and can really tell a lot in terms of stories, right? Just a guitar or a piano. And even if you're, the thing I like about Victory is it really is kind of production-wise quite a simple song. So it gets us to focus on the lyrics, what you're actually talking about. And I think that's really beautiful. And now that I know the backstory as well, it touches my soul a little bit further and hurts a little. It's like a little dagger in my heart, but in a beautiful way, right? It's like a little... and when you release those kind of emotions too, I mean, it might not be about the same topic, but I think people that are going through loss and stuff, it's like hope, right? Like they see a butterfly, they see a rainbow at the end of the road. It's just beautiful to see. I've seen that time and time again where a piece of music can actually change lives, literally. So
yeah,
it's beautiful. Well, shall we listen to Still Love You?
Yeah, sounds good.
And are you happy to stick around for a wrap-up afterwards?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. Well, have a think about how you want to wrap up the podcast, final plugs, all that sort of stuff. But really enjoying the show so far. If you've just tuned in, we've got Sabreen in the lineup tonight. And anyways, Kiwi Radio, this is Still Love You.
I don't know if I'm lonely since you left, memorizing time zone differences, and you don't owe me anything. Yeah, at high school we were loved, you were adored by everyone, and I would follow you just like the sun. And I let go of you years ago, happy as friends and all, but then you told me you found her at the bottom of the bleachers, had your phone spilled it all on a drunk call. You know I've loved you since we were small, don't you? Ran out of chairs so I sat on you. I thought that I got enough of you. Right there at the party, there I knew I still love you. Slow been friends to lovers, living in real life so much worse, but we won't ever be more, because I've banned you from my mind, contrabanding my love of life. But here we are again, and I love you anyway. You'll always be a friend, even when you tell me how you found her at the bottom of the bleachers, had your phone spilled it all on a drunk call. You know I've loved you since we were small, don't you? Ran out of chairs so I sat on you. I thought that I got enough of you. Right there at the party, there I knew I still love you. Don't get me wrong, I know it's wrong, but I still love you like a lot. And you'll move on like anyone from what we'll never become. And that's okay, I bet she's great. Just remember to be safe. I'll hide this hurt, it's immature, over what we never were. And you found her at the bottom of the bleachers, had your phone spilled it all on a drunk call. You know I've loved you since we were small, don't you? Ran out of chairs so I sat on you. I thought that I got enough of you. Right there at the party, there I knew I still love you. Found her at the bottom of the bleachers, had your phone spilled it all on a drunk call. You know I've loved you since we were small, don't you? Ran out of chairs so I sat on you. I thought that I got enough of you. Right there at the party, there I knew I still love you.
You're tuned to Kiwradio.nz Kiwradio.nz for our weekly Tuesday night showcase of music coming out of New Zealand. What's new, what's independent, what's alternative, and that is the 3-song set from the wonderful Sabreen. You can check her out at Linktree, linktr.ee/Sabreeni, and also on Instagram as the Abby Monster. Well, first of all, I think you deserve a round of applause. Thank you so much for coming on the show there, Sabreen. That is the show.
Awesome, thank you for having me.
Final words?
This has been a really lovely experience getting to talk about the song, so thank you so much. I guess for everyone listening, I have a song out called Countryman that came out 2 months ago. It's my favorite song I've ever released. There's also a really cool music video that we shot at Howick Historical Village, so feel free to check that out and have a good night.
Well, thank you, Sabreen. We hope you stay cool, stay creative. Please stay as friends of the podcast and let us know of any latest updates. Wish you all the best for 2025. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks. See ya. Good night. And that is Sabreen. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go check her out again. Those web links are instagram.com/thesabbymonster, SABBY monster. Linktree, Sabreeni. So linktr.ee/Sabreeni. Tell her you heard her music on Kiwradio.nz. I'm just lost for words because, yeah, that's really important music, especially the story behind track 2 and in general. What a very clever young lady. That is the show, everyone. We hope you take care. We've got some exciting guests and announcements coming up in the podcast. Would love to tell you more. We're building up in mid-December. Check us out on Instagram.com/Kiwradio.nz. We're building up to an in-person, in-studio performance. That should be very, very exciting. I'll tell you more about it if you just keep it locked on the website. We have artists like Lucy Monroe coming up on the show. We have all sorts. We're booked for 2024. So if you want to get in, there's a few ways to stay in touch. You can email kiwiradio@proton.me. If you are sending music, please keep it as MP3 file. Instagram.com/Kiwradio.nz. Send a DM there. Or if you head over to Kiwradio.nz, there is actually a button on the right-hand side where you can submit a voice memo, and you can do it directly from your phone. It's amazing. It's great. And that's a lot of fun too. So there's a few ways to get in, or you can always call the studio number when we are live, Tuesday 7 p.m. You just call 09889 8555. 09889 8555. Of course, you need to be in New Zealand for that. Well, thank you. That is the show. Nice and quick. Thanks to Sabreen. We're going to switch it back now on the radio station to Autobot. So that's at Kiwradio.nz. Remember, it is up 24/7. Please submit your music. I'll be releasing some remixes as well, so music you won't find anywhere else, and it's just a cool little hub. Okay, everyone, take care. Ralphie out.